Hello Knockouts, Tonya TKO here, and last night Viola Davis made Emmy history. In its 66th year, she is the first African-American woman to win Best Lead Actress in a Drama Series. So then why is everyone today talking about Nancy Lee Grahn, the white woman who tried to steal her shine by taking to Twitter in a hateful, vengeful, insensitive, and delusional rant? During a near-death experience, I realized there's a lot more to life than we previously thought. Now, I dedicate my life to waking people up to love. Love each other. Most importantly, love yourself.
You want to respect me.
It took dying to learn how to live. I'm Tonya TKO. Welcome. So Viola Davis wins Best Lead Actress in a Drama Series. She goes up to the stage and she quotes a quote so poignant and so scarily still relevant to today that I was surprised to hear that Harriet Tubman had spoken this more than 100 years ago.
In my mind, I see a line. And over that line, I see green fields and lovely flowers and beautiful white women with their arms stretched out to me over that line. But I can't seem to get there no how. I can't seem to get over that line. That was Harriet Tubman in the 1800s.
Nancy Lee Grahn, who took to Twitter, Viola Davis had never faced discrimination, and about how she's not Harriet Tubman, she didn't build a tunnel, and how ignorant she is because Harriet Tubman didn't build a tunnel. It's like, that the Emmys were not a place to make something racial. Oh goodness. I read her words. As a black woman, I had to make this video. It's like we can't ever get to healing when 67% of the population still decides to stay willfully blind to what's happening to their other countrymen. Nancy Lee Grahn will never know what it feels like to be a little black girl watching TV and looking at movies and searching the screens for people who look like you and see the faces that look like you starring in some very questionable, demoralizing, and some dehumanizing, soul-crushing roles. I'll never forget the first time that I saw Gone with the Wind, and I had been looking forward to it because I heard such great things about this movie. They had the big Mamie character, the woo with the big eyes. There was this one character who broke my heart. It's like even as a grown woman, I'm still not over it. The woman who was like, I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. And the role that she played, was just so stupid and so worthless. And I felt crushed. I felt crushed. You know, I grew up in the era with Tarzan. I grew up in the era of Tarzan and Planet of the Apes and King Kong and these shows where everybody else seemed to be civilized, but black people for some reason were acting like monkeys, couldn't speak English, were speaking gibberish. And then when they had the reverse racism theme in Planet of the Apes, they had apes who played what would have been the under race over the other race. They had apes. And then with the King Kong and him with his obsession with this little white woman, and she'll never know what it feels like to see no examples of you who were playing smart, educated, sophisticated roles. I remember when I was younger and I saw the story of Cleopatra, and even they were played by white people. And so when I was growing up, there were no instances that I can recall of black people. It was like I grew up in the blaxploitation era where our symbols of success were playing prostitutes and pimps. That's the era I grew up in. And she'll never know what it's like to look on the big screen searching for faces that look like you. And the faces are idiotic, the faces are stupid, they're shuffling around, they got big old lips, they don't speak English properly. She'll never know what that's like to look out there for inspiration to draw upon and see images that embarrass you, that you want to separate yourself from. Even so far as down to the cartoons, where the black people played these ooga booga, ignorant and shiftless, lazy Southern people, and she'll never know what it's like to have no examples of positivity for which to draw upon or from which to draw upon. People like Nancy Lee Grahn can't say that we have not faced our obstacles and our discrimination of just even being seen as human, being seen as women, being seen as persons. I'll never forget the very first time that I saw Olivia Pope. I'll never forget how I felt. Because, you know, nobody knew what the show was about. The show opened and they had Abby and they were talking about this fierce character, Olivia Pope, and it's handled. Someone came in and they said they thought Abby was Olivia, and she was like, no. And Olivia was this beautiful black woman, strong, powerful, smart, and adept. And this was the first time in what, more than 20 years? Claire Huxtable, who was the last one? And she and Olivia Pope was even more powerful than Claire Huxtable. And I was like, as a woman, as a black woman, I was proud because Olivia Pope was playing a role not of a neck snapping sister girl, but as a beautiful, eloquent, educated, articulate, powerful woman who happened to be black. And it's like, that's the life that so many of us live. We just happen to be black, but the world around us reflects back to us who it is that they think that we are and should be, and the roles that we shall play in exchange. How many people never got roles because people just couldn't see them in it? Just couldn't see them in it. I remember I was an extra in Spider-Man 3. I played an extra in the crowd in the scene where he swung down out in front of Town Hall. And I remember the wardrobe woman didn't want me to wear pearls because she said that pearls didn't look good on dark skin. And I'm like, I didn't know who she was talking about, because it's like, I'm not the darkest of the dark. I'm not the lightest of the light. I'm in between. But for her to use me as her benchmark of like this dark creature that's just too black to wear pearls, I was like, imagine what comments a person darker than me gets. I couldn't even imagine. Imagine all the people who never even get the comments from decision makers who just don't feel that they are a fit for a certain part. And look at it. Do I need to say it again? Idris Elba. For Viola Davis to get this role, not being a petite, light-skinned woman with straight hair or straight nose, for her to get this role and rock this role and get this award, being a dark-skinned woman of African features who is adept and smart, she got the role and she played the heavens out of that role, and she got that award and she deserves it. I've been on YouTube 8 years. 8 years. That takes a person from being 22 to being 30. A person from being 32 to being 40. And it's like, if this wasn't my dream, I would have given up already. It's like, here it is, I'm no longer slim. I'm getting old. And it's like, how much longer will I be able to stay behind the scenes trying? Will I become another nameless, faceless face, just trying to do something, to get somewhere? I knew that what I was doing was important, and I didn't realize until now just how important it is just to be a positive face for some little black girl who's looking out there for a positive face so that she can see mine. So thank you to all the women who came before me and to all of the other women who are trying too. Thank you. Thank you to the Felicia Rashads and the Halle Berrys and the Kerry Washingtons and the Taraji P. Henson and the Viola Davis and the Oprah and the Tyra who came before me, who came before us, who led the way for it to even be feasible for me to be talking here before you. So thank you. Thank you to the black women who trailblazed. Listen. Thank you to the black women who trailblazed against great odds, against rejection, against being turned away, against being put down, against being turned down, against turning down roles that would destroy the image of what a young black girl would see out there. Thank you. Thank you to all the black women who are still out there fighting the good fight, no matter how hard it seems. Thank you. Because you paved the way for me. And I'll pave the way for somebody else. And we've come a long way. We still have further to go. And so when Nancy Lee Grahn makes a comment about how Viola Davis has never faced discrimination, and to be serious about it, it frightens me, because it shows the sheer willful ignorance of our countrymen and women who are just in this bubble, not realizing just how difficult it is to make it with Negroid features in an industry that covets youth, thinness, and whiteness. And that's it for today. I'd love your comments below. Forgive me for leaving out any names of the matriarchs who came before us. Forgive me. Comments like Nancy Lee Grahn shows that we can't continue to ignore it, that we have to face it head on, because there are some people who just don't know and they need to be educated. That is real out here for a pimp. I'm just joking. Listen, hug me. I'm gonna get out of here. I love you all so very much. Oh, love, 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 love. Okay. Now go out there and love one another. I'm sorry. This is very difficult. Excuse me. Go out there and love one another. But what? Most importantly, love yourself. Tonya TKO. And I'm out. Peace.
Some people write to me, martyrs of relationships. Oh, if I'm a good woman, I'll stand by somebody who doesn't make me feel good about myself. No, baby. The first relationship you need to develop is the relationship with yourself. Don't be a martyr to love. Oh, sacrifice yourself. Listen, love is healing and love is freeing. And when love is right, oh honey, love feels right.